This is really going to change the reptile hobby forever. So Reptile Systems have come out and done something amazing. Now, I'm going to talk you through it in a second. First of all, my name's Richard. This channel's called Northern Exotics. We talk all things reptile related, whether it's to do with specific species care, how to breed your own live food, loads of little reptile hacks. And every time a new piece of information comes out, a scientific piece of research, we bring it straight to you. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you do hit that subscribe button and that bell notification just so you get notified next time I do upload a video. Now this is probably going to be a bit informal because there's quite a bit of information that I've got to get into this video. So there's going to be none of the normal fancy cuts and swooping here and doing all this sort of stuff. But Reptile Systems are changing UVB and the way we think about it. Let me explain. So you've got UVI, which is ultraviolet index. That's the only measurement for the sun that we can use within our reptiles to be able to actually get the correct UVI, the correct sun for that specific species, whether it be a leopard gecko, whether it be a green tree python, a full-on sun-basking savanna monitor, a bosque monitor, whatever UVI is needed in somewhat. If that animal has access to UVI or the sun in the wild, then it must have a need, a benefit and a defense against that sun. So that's why UVI has been pushed forward over the years. Well, there's never actually been a company that's full-on said, right, no, now we change. From right now, we change. And it's quite a big step for a company to do that, simply because if you've got a big company and they turn around to the old guys that have been keeping leopard geckos for 25 years and say, look mate, you could really benefit with using a UVB light now, they're just going to sit there and go, oh, it's just a marketing scam, no, go away. Well, there's actually been scientific research to prove that now, and it changes now. Reptile Systems are changing it. How do I mean? Well, you've got your normal sort of UVB strip bulbs with a percentage. What's this one? This is a 6% UVB bulb, whether it's a 6% forest, a 10% desert, whatever you call it, it's a percentage. Well, there's no actual way for the end consumer to say, I need a 10% UVB bulb because I've got a bearded dragon. Well, how do you know that that's going to give your animal the exact UVI that it needs? Ultraviolet index. Ultraviolet index is the full spectrum of ultraviolet rays within the sun. How can a 10% do that for a bearded dragon? There's too many variables. Have you got a reflector? Have you not got a reflector? What distance is it away from the animal? Is your reflector dirty? There's so many variables, so you don't know. You can't say a 10% will help a bearded dragon. That's what it needs. There's been studies gone by, I think it was Dr. Francis Baines, who put a 10% up, 30 centimetres, no reflector, and it fell below the UVI that required for a bearded dragon. Put a reflector on there, it was just above what a bearded dragon would actually need. So a 10% is absolutely useless to a bearded dragon at 30 centimetres. But this is the sort of information that you guys don't need. So what have Reptile Systems done? Well, your percentage, gone. Yeah, totally. The percentage on all, they're not even called UVB bulbs anymore, UVB lamps, they're UVI lamps. So the percentage has gone. Let's have a walk through the new style packaging and the new information to help you benefit the care for your animal. Because let's face it, like I've just said, a percentage wouldn't give your animal, or the majority of the time wouldn't give your animal, the correct UVI that it needs, ultraviolet index. Let's start off with this. You may not be able to see this too much, I'll stick some clips on, but this is the Ferguson zones. What are the Ferguson zones? Well, every single species of animal that has access to the sun has a zone within that Ferguson scale. So your capustruan species, little nocturnal species, they go up in zone 1. Zone 2 are the occasional sort of baskers here and there. Zone 3 are your daylight baskers, and zone 4 are the high intense sun baskers. So your stuff like your Agama lizards, your savanna monitors, the ones that can really take the heat of the day. And all the animals that do get access to the sun have been split up into these 4 zones. Now, some animals from the same areas have been separated differently. Take, for instance, a royal python. Americans, you might call them bull python. Bull pythons and savanna monitors. Your bull pythons are in zone 2, occasional baskers, but your savanna monitors are in zone 4. They both come from the same regions in Africa. Why? Well, that's because the savanna monitors are out through the day, whereas the royal pythons are more capustruan, slightly occasional baskers here and there. If they can take a bit of heat, they'll go out and do a bit, whereas bosque monitors, they're out all the time doing all their sorts of stuff. but everything has been classified. You can see I've got the poster just up there myself. So let's take, for instance, you've got like I say, it's all set up in zones. Zone 1 is UVI 0.7 to 1.4. Zone 2 is 1.1 to 3 UVI. Zone 3, which is where a bearded dragon actually lies, it's where your panther chameleons lie, Hermann's tortoise, green iguanas, day geckos, frilled lizards, Yemen chameleons, it's all here. They're on zone 3 and they come under a UVI of 2.9 to 7.4. Then the big guys that are out in the rearing sun all day long, zone 4, that's a UVI of 4.5 to 8. You can go more than that, but the animals tend to get damaged by more than that, or if you are using more than that, then there's a bit more distance between the actual lamp and the animals. But in zone 4, you've got savanna monitors, you've got Uromastyx, rhino iguanas, agama lizards, everything there. So it's all split up into zones. So what do you do now? Well, you say, right, I've got a bearded dragon, look on the Ferguson zone. You can check this out online, there will be links in the description down below. You can check out the zones. Right, I have bearded dragon, here it is, bearded dragon, it's in zone 3. So what do you need to do now? A zone 3 UVI bulb. That is what you do. This is a zone 3. Now you will notice on this package there is still a percentage. That's only for the transition period between using the old percentage system and going to this system. This will guarantee your bearded dragon will get the correct UVI for a bearded dragon. Now, how do you know that for a solid? Well, on the box here we've got Ferguson Zone 3, so you know it's for any animal that's in the Ferguson Zone 3. Under here, UVI 4.1, absolutely perfect. Turn it over. On the back of the box here, up here, you've got a little bit of writing. It says here, distance from the lamp, 5 centimetres, 10 centimetres, 20 centimetres, 30 centimetres, 40 centimetres and 50 centimetres. That's how high is your lamp from the animal's head, from where it can actually be. And here it's saying at 30 centimetres, it's 2.3 UVI without a reflector. With a reflector at 30 centimetres, it's 4.1 UVI. So that's absolutely perfect to fit within zone 3 for a bearded dragon. If you use a reflector, you'll get your absolute perfect UVI for your bearded dragon. It also says here at 10 centimetres with a reflector, it's not safe. It can give you the UVI reading, but it's just not safe, so don't do it, basically. Further down on the packaging, just down here, you've got the full sort of spectrum of the UVI zones, so the Ferguson zones, so to speak. So you've got zone 1 there for your crested geckos, leopard geckos, Burmese pythons. Zone 2, so you've got the UVI figures that come out there. Then you've got zone 3, and then you've got zone 4. Absolutely perfect, it's all explained on there. So this new system will basically give you the exact sunlight that your animal would naturally see in the wild. Now it doesn't just come in zone 3, we have got zone 2, and we have got zone 1. At the minute, these are the ones that are available. Zone 1 is for your African bullfrogs, your blood pythons, your corn snakes, your crested geckos, fire salamanders, green tree pythons, wormer pythons, viper geckos, leopard geckos, red-eyed crocodile skinks, rough green snakes. That's zone 1. Zone 1 can also be used for the birds, for bird systems, which is on the back of that actual box. But again, all the details are there. So for 30 centimetres away from the actual animal, it gives you a UVI of 0.8 without a reflector, and with a reflector, 1 UVI, which is absolutely perfect for all of the Ferguson Zones 1. This is the first time any company has ever taken into consideration UVI and the Ferguson Zones for our pet reptiles, and it really is pushing the reptile hobby in that direction, which is where it needs to go. Again, your percentage, you can't measure whether that's good enough for your actual animal. Doing it this way, you can, and it's all explained on the actual box, everything you need to do. Ferguson Zone 2, at 30 centimetres, without a reflector, you will get 1 UVI. With a reflector, 1.8, and again, that's with a clean reflector. However, there are other products to go along with that, because Reptile Systems haven't just changed those lamps, these strip lamps. They have products that come with UVI lamps within them, so they've changed their entire packaging as well. But everything else has changed. So up here, this is for a big leopard gecko build I've got. If you want to see that leopard gecko build, it's fully bioactive, fully naturalistic. It will be using UVI. Just make sure you do hit subscribe. But this one has got a slightly arched, more arched sort of reflector than the normal sort of clip-ons that these were tested with. So the UVI changes because it's a bit more intense. So this is Ferguson Zone 1, and it's going to be used for a leopard gecko. It's going to be used at 30 centimetres. With this full unit, it's going to be a 1.8 UVI. Everything you need to know is all on there. Again, all the Ferguson zones there, more reflections there. It's got absolutely everything you could possibly want to know to make sure, for a fact, solidly straight down the line, that your animal does have the proper lighting. Not the best lighting, not the worst lighting, the only lighting. There's no such thing as the best lighting or the worst lighting, it's the proper lighting. That's what you need to work out, and these are going to give your animal the proper lighting, provided you use the conditions that it says. So 30 centimetres away from the animal with a reflector, 1.8 UVI, which is absolutely perfect for the Zone 1 animals. This is just the next step, and this is something that I highly respect about Reptile Systems. They have got a video coming out. If it is already out, I'll link it just there. Definitely worth going to have a look because I made that video. If you have enjoyed this, if you do appreciate this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave them down in the comments down below.